what?
You want to
So
start?
what did you think of the movie?
Okay, so I don't even have the actors out. Let me get the actors. Let me just get the actors. What was it?
Okay.
Family. I'm gonna tell you what I thought of the movie. Okay, so we're going to review Not My Family, the Monique Smith story,
Mhm.
and some of the actors in that movie are Yaya DaCosta, Solace Kimbro Jones, Kadeem Hunter, and Dejasi DaCosta Johnson. I'm only personally familiar with Yaya DaCosta, but the movie was about a young lady who was born into a family where she was abused, and she had this deep feeling that she wasn't really a part of that family. So she went on a journey of self-discovery to search for her birth family. And so I'll pass it to you. What did you think of the film?
So what I have in my notes, right? There was a part that stuck out to me in there was when she had applied or did something with the army. I'm guessing she took the ASVAB or something.
Mm.
Um,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
and that part stuck out to me because the fake mom said to her,
Fake mom.
yeah, said
Okay.
to her, only smart people can get in the army. I mean, get in the military. And I went, not really. The movie was so serious, but me at that moment, I was like, no, that's
Yeah.
not true. That's not true. So like that part made me upset, and I think that that's a thing in the world. Um, that happens to go on people down talking kids, not just in the Black community, but I mean, even though you do see it more in the minority communities, there's the malnutrition is what we used to call it when I used to work at my old job or something, where the parent feels like it was done to me, so I have to do it to my kids too. They have to go through the
Yeah.
same thing I went through too. So I'm gonna put down this kid and tell them they can't be an astronaut when in all actuality they have a clean slate to where they could if they really wanted to.
Right.
I'm gonna tell them they can't be a hairstylist and that it makes no money. You know what I'm saying? But when all actuality, I mean, yeah, they can do hair and start their own business and rent booths out. There's a whole bunch that, you know, you can put into a child, and what you put in comes out.
That is true. And I think that in that movie, that was very prevalent because
Mhm.
what was put into her life was a lot of physical and emotional abuse from people that she viewed as family. And then the outcome when she became a young lady was that she went on this like path of self-destruction where she like started to become um streetwalker, and she was like selling herself to random men, and she even found herself like in a relationship where the guy was like, I think he was on some type of drugs or he had
Mhm.
an addiction problem.
Mhm.
And so like you said, it's just a reflection of how she was raised, her adult life.
Maltreatment, that's what it's called. Maltreatment.
Maltreatment. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and I mean, again, what you put in comes out. Um, how many people can we say we've seen that really may not have been as fortunate as us or others, that turned out a different way in life? Because even if they were in a specific tax bracket, you could take a kid that's parents a millionaire, but if their parents is talking down on them, telling them they'll never be this, they'll never be that, that can have two effects. It can
Mhm.
either be one that they go out here and they do great things and they, really aren't that close with them or whatever, or it could be two where that sticks with the person, sticks with the child, and that inner child is in them all throughout life, and you'll hear it come out about what was it? I've had people during therapy sessions come to my office and say, I've just never been worth it. I'm not worth it. So it doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you're not worth it? Don't ever talk yourself down like that. Well, they've never had somebody talk them up. You
That's
know what I mean? And when someone does compliment them and tell them, oh, you're pretty, or, oh, you got a nice car, or something like that, whatever, they don't know how to take a compliment because they think that you want something from them or that you're going to harm them. You know what I mean? And I
No.
mean, I say all that to say words hurt. You can really damage somebody with the words you use. So that was something that I had peeped during the movie.
No, I definitely saw that too because when she was waiting for the bus, and I think the bus never came or something to that effect, another lady came to her and just gave her a few nice words, and that's really all it took to get her to go into this lifestyle of like selling herself and trafficking. And then also when she met the man, he just said a few nice words to her, and then she ended up in another situation. So like you're saying, it's really important to build up the confidence of children so that they don't fall victim to people who might say nice things to them, like you said, just to get something out of them or just to like abuse them in some way. But I really like how in the movie, towards the end, she used her story as a platform for other people to find their family. So she didn't stay in that like abused victim state. She
Mhm.
decided to turn her life around after she had her own children and help victims who were misplaced or um, lost or children who had been separated from their birth families. So I thought that that was a really
Beautiful.
beautiful thing. Yeah.
Because, and then that's where that comes in of what is it, stopping the curse, the generational curse or
Yep.
whatever, stopping the, I mean, she could have easily, well, you know what, my life sucks, so everybody else's life is gonna suck too, and ruin the children and just kept it going. You got to break the cycle somewhere, and she did that. And I think that's what was good about the movie was like, okay, she broke that cycle. She, I mean, it's a new thing, and I bring it up every like every day, right? To patients, I go, oh yeah, we're the generation that's stopping things. We're the generation that's changing things. The millennials, the Gen Zs, we're stopping it. Um, and they always go, yeah, yeah, because when we want to get some therapy, what do? We get therapy.
Yeah, we get the help that we need.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
whereas even in the movie, she
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find out information about her real family because so many older generations, they kept family secrets mom tight. Like even when she went to her mom's or her, like you said, fake mom's family friend, she knew information and she didn't give her all the information. Even like her fake mom didn't even want to tell her where she came from. But I don't think that we have those same barriers with our generation that generations had. Like we are very transparent. Like if you got a stepdaddy, a stepmama, if you were born out of wedlock, if you were a result of maybe like a spouse who stepped out on their marriage or whatever have you, most people know their stories in this day and age, which I think is so important. So, what would you rate this movie? One to 10.
I would rate this movie right here. I'm gonna give it about an 8
Oh,
because,
that's good.
yeah, yeah, because of the inspiration behind it. There are a lot of young ladies and men that would be inspired by this movie and can get the right message from this movie. So I give it an 8.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah,
I
I
was
give
gonna
it
give it a 5.
an 8. Why? Is it because of the trigger?
No, it was triggering, which was like triggering for me personally. But I give it a 5 because it was a good movie. But I don't like the fact that they didn't tell us like what happened to her, like why her mom gave her away. She got all the way to the end. She met her family, and I know that in the movie she didn't know either. She's like, well, nobody gave me answers, but I was left on the edge of my seat because the whole time I was trying to figure out, well, why did her mom give her away? What was the reason? Like, was her mom like I don't know. Like she said she was on drugs, but like what was the circumstances to make her have other children, but this was the child that she abandoned. Like I didn't really get that closure. So I really like closure in movies and I didn't get that. So that's why I give it a 5. But I think that the story was really good and inspiring. I agree with everything that you said.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's a harsh rating, but
No, no,
that's
no,
how
no, no.
I feel.
Look.
I didn't like that. Like, give me the whole story. Don't give me.
No, I get what you're saying. That's like Mariah Carey. Well, no, 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 no. what's that movie in Mariah Carey? Not Sparkle, Glitter.
It's one of the two, glitter sparkle.
I think it was Glitter. That's a good movie. I think no, they tell why. I think they tell why. Yeah, they tell why how it happened. Never mind.
No, okay. Well, anyway, so that was our review of Not My Family. So you should definitely go out and watch it. Yeah, and
Thanks for coming.